Poultry shows include chickens, ducks, geese, guinea fowl, turkeys, and pigeons. Showbirds are bred, raised, and cared for exhibition. They are trained for show cages, washed and manicured before each show. 70% of the world's total bird population is chickens. There are currently 4 chickens to every human being on Earth. The history of chicken shows in North America actually starts 8 to 10,000 years ago when the people of Southeast Asia began to domesticate the wild red jungle fowl and its close relatives. The bird's lack of ability to fly and its adaptation to caged life made it perfect for domestication. It was first domesticated for entertainment purposes and used in cockfighting, with agricultural use being an afterthought. That wasn't until the Egyptians learned how to incubate the eggs. Then the birds and the eggs themselves became a staple in Egyptian diet. The first chickens came to North America with the first European settlers, and it quickly became one of the most important farm animals in colonial America. American farmers began to create their own breeds with American and Native American names like Plymouth Rocks, Dominiques, Wyandottes, and Rhode Island Reds. In the 1830s, coaches were imported from China to England and given to the Queen. These exotic chickens from the Far East were the envy of England. This led the Western world's fascination with fancy poultry and the desire to compare birds in a competition setting. The first poultry show in North America was held in Quincy Market in Boston in 1849. It surpassed 1,400 entries, but with no standard to judge by, no winners were awarded. A year later, another show was attempted, but with over 12,000 entries, the venue was overwhelmed and most of the birds couldn't be judged again. It was clear by this time that America wanted poultry shows. However, it wouldn't be until the formation of the American Poultry Association in 1873 in Buffalo, New York, that the shows finally found consistency and a good standard to judge by. The first judging standard was called the Standard of Excellence, released in 1874 with 8 different editions. In 1888, the American Poultry Association released the Standard of Perfection. This is the book that the poultry is still judged by today. From 1880 to 1890, the American chicken population increased from 102 million to 258 million birds, and it was clear that America loved chickens. In 1914, the American Bantam Association was formed. This club's formation was significant to exhibition because it was dedicated to bantam chickens, whose primary purpose is for ornamental pets and exhibition only. In 1956, the Ohio Poultry Breeders were formed and started hosting a show called the Ohio Nationals. The show quickly became one of the largest poultry shows every year. In 1973, they set a record for the largest show in history, and have broken their own records several times since. The show was also featured on CMT's movie, The Chicken People. In today's poultry show world, some things have modernized, like virtual poultry shows held online, and breeders and exhibitors communicating through online platforms, but still, the backbone of the fancy is the traditional chicken show. Many chicken shows are not sanctioned shows, but rather county and state fairs, but still the largest meets every year are the APA and the ABA national meets, and a few of the other large sanctioned shows like the Ohio Nationals.